All right, and we are live. What's going on? What's happening? You guys do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button. Let's get right into this. The bottom line is when you're a masculine, rugged, confident man, you intimidate these women. Okay? You intimidate them by doing the things that you're supposed to be doing and the things that you are doing on a daily basis. And because of this intimidation, it manifests in a bunch of different ways. You'll have women that should find you attractive attacking you. You'll have women that should be looking up to you as a leader, role model. Instead, they imitate what you're doing, um, and then expect for you to find it attractive. It's just a lot of weird stuff going on. Basically, there wasn't any fathers or masculine men around growing up. So when these women see you, they don't know how to interpret you. They don't know what to do. They don't know whether to imitate you, whether to observe you, study you. They don't know what to do, man. So, you're in this conundrum, and this is what it is. So that's why I say just focus on yourself. Don't worry about any of these modern American women, and try to get a passport as soon as you possibly can. You know, that way you can go somewhere where a man that has his life together and his finances right can get a woman that still appreciates the American dollar and an American. So, you know, nothing against these women in the States. The system was set up, make sure there wasn't fathers in the home. And now with them seeing masculine men who don't take a knee to every loudmouth woman that just starts chirping because, you know, we weren't raised where the women ran the house. I know it's, assumed that all black people were raised by a single mother. That's not true. My dad was always there. It was very much so a very respectful home of how he spoke. We moved. That's what happened. My mom never had any problem with what he did because I guess they talked to each other, whatever. That was behind closed doors. So you making the assumption that I was raised in a broken home, and whenever a woman got loud, I would kowtow. That's not the case. My mother never had to get loud. So when I see you idiots running around being loud and being toxic, it's not impressive to me. I don't know what that is. It's foreign. It's foreign. I don't know what that is. My mother never had to get loud to get her point across. A lot of times, just certain looks or just getting up and leaving the room would change the energy of what was going on conversationally, I guess, with my dad and how he was disciplining, right? Literally would change the way he was moving just by her getting up and leaving the room. I don't know where you people came from and how y'all were raised, but assuming that just because you have a big mouth and know a bunch of words through this indoctrination education, it don't mean you're saying anything. And I see right through all that BS, and I see the trauma on you when you have to give me your resume of your qualifications when I should just be able to pick those up through your conversation. When you have to tell me that you're working out, and even though you have a couple kids, you just stop. You're used to being able to run your mouth and get your way, run your mouth and mentally manipulate weaker men. And you run up against this wall where you can't do anything but fall in line and get with the program or get lost. And there's no babbling, chattering, rambling your way into trying to get what you want. There shouldn't be no need for that. A real lady doesn't need to talk too much. That's why I don't trust most of these content creators. They talk too much. You sound like a used car salesman or an ambulance chaser. You have a great product, like that McDonald's, CEO. When you have a great product, there's no need for you to have to advertise it too much, for you to have to sell it. It sells itself. Okay? So the problem is we're not just doing what you want us to do. And what you feel like is you have a monopoly on coochie. And oh well, they can't get it. No, 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 no. In this country, you do. But like I keep trying to remember the exact stat, but this dude Passport on TikTok said you're only 5%. I need to look it up myself, but you're only 5% of all women globally. You're not doing the math. So you're betting on us being too broke or too scared to venture off and at least mingle with the other 95% of women. It don't make any sense, man. Okay, what happened is you're allowing social media to build this false dichotomy where you think you're running things and you have the numbers and we're desiring you in this weird dog like and heat behavior, and that's not the case. And what social media is built for you and what you're seeing in real life is causing for your mind to break. Okay, like it's not adding up to you. In real life, you're not having men chase you. You're googly eyeing them. You're throwing your hair over your ear. You're doing all the signals, but we walk right by you. You're wearing provocative things to the gym and snail trailing on everything to get attention, sweating everywhere. We're not paying you no attention. Okay. Because the numbers are everything is in your favor. You can make up false allegations and ruin a man's career, his social media and everything. I'm saying? It's dangerous dating nowadays. The STD rates are sky high. But if you look at women online, none of them have STDs. I mean, they're talking about 1 out of 4, but you're seeing more than 4 online. 1 out of 4 of them, or 8, what I'm saying, or 15 or 20 has an STD. They're not talking about this. See, we have to go off the stats because your whole job is to mentally manipulate us into thinking your value is higher than it is because you wasted all your prime years, right? You've collected too many bodies. You can't pair bond. So you have to get on here using social media, which grown men know is an indoctrination system. They're telling us how to think, how to move. That's how they move culture. And you're using it to try to tell us, no, 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 we need to see you in real life. All this social media crap, we don't even know if you're AI. Okay. So again, you're doing too much. What's going on, fam? What's going on? I'll get to the comments in minutes. Want to make sure I get this train of thought out. You're doing too much. You did too much. You have plenty of Panda Bear Express males and other broken males that consider you the Hotep guys or whatever, that consider you goddesses, that would drink your bath water, that would love for you to rub your menstrual all over them. Why don't you just get with them? They're pandering for you day and night. Why don't you find them attractive? Why are you not hooking up with them? Because you know a weak, broken male when you see one instinctively. And by nature, you know the strong males. And you're mad because the strong males see the game. We're doing, assessment management. Okay. We haven't do risk management here because there's too much going on. This is how men move around, conquer, make sure that we don't go down. We have to, make assessments. I see what social media and radio is telling us, and women.